Hey y'all, welcome to Woods the Wall TV. Jordan here. This is going to be our very first cooking video. Let's get started. This evening we are going to be making wild turkey dumplings. This is a turkey, yes, from our double kill that Justin and I killed back in May. It's also posted on our channel if you want to check that out. It is fall here in North Carolina right now. The weather has turned off a little chilly. Tomorrow is going to be a rainy, messy day, and I can't think of any better meal to have to enjoy over the next couple days other than turkey dumplings. What a wonderful comfort food. So I went ahead and laid out pretty much everything here that we need to make our meal. I'm going to go through everything with y'all, go through all the steps, and then I will post the recipe down below in the description, and then yeah, y'all can try it too, and I hope you like it. So the wild turkey that we're actually going to be using is turkey breast that we vacuum sealed and froze from our turkey hunt back in May. This video of this hunt is actually posted on our channel if y'all want to check that out as well. So what we're doing obviously is we're taking it all the way from the woods. We posted that video, and then we're going to do our table fare, and then eventually we will post our fan mounting video as well. So literally from the woods to the wall. So just to give y'all a little heads up, if we continue making a ton more cooking videos and you like them and you continue to follow along, if our recipe includes any sort of flour at all, I always use this all-purpose organic einkorn flour. This is from Ancient Grains. It's Grand Teton Ancient Grains. It's grown here in the USA, non-GMO, completely organic, and it is literally an ancient grain. So if you have any sort of gluten sensitivity, this is awesome for you. It does not hurt your stomach. I have a gluten sensitivity. My sister has a gluten sensitivity, and this has been absolutely incredible to learn to cook with, and it's packed with a ton of nutrients. Way better for you than any sort of genetically modified flour that's on your typical grocery store shelf. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is chop up our vegetables. I have 5 celery ribs here. I only have 3 carrots. I did not have a chance to run by the grocery store, but we're going to roll with that. So I'm going to finally, I don't want to say finally, but I'm going to dice up these vegetables, and then that's going to go in our dumplings. So let's get started with that. Okay, so here's our celery. Now we will get started on our carrots. I'm just gonna push that aside. I should have got my bigger cutting board out. That's okay. Okay, so like I said, I have 3 carrots. I'm gonna peel these, and then we are going to chop them up, same as the celery. Okay, so now we have all of our chopped veggies. This is also completely optional. If you do not like carrots or do not like celery, you don't have to put them in your dumplings. I think they add a nice flavor, so that's why I like them. But like I said, you can completely omit these if you want to. So first thing I'm gonna do, I have 2 boxes of this Pacific organic chicken broth. I'm going to add this into our pot. I'm also going to do 2 cups of water as well. So that's going to be 10 total cups of liquid into our pot. Okay, so I cook pretty much everything of mine like this in my Lodge cast iron Dutch oven. I also bake all of my bread in this cast iron as well. So I'm going to cut my stovetop on, and I'm going to add in the liquid, and then we're going to go ahead and add in the vegetables and the turkey. So I've got 8 cups of our chicken broth. And if you have your own bone broth that you wish to use, that would be absolutely awesome as well. Do that one, and then same thing here. There we go. And then next thing I'm going to do is add in 2 cups of water. Okay, now I'm going to add in all of our vegetables. Next thing, we have our wild turkey breast. This is roughly about 1.5 wild turkey breast. And we're just gonna plop that down in there, and we will take it out and shred it after it is completely cooked. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is add in our spices. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I am 100% a measure with my heart type person. So I'm gonna add in what I feel comfortable adding into the dumplings, and then in the actual recipe, I'm gonna give y'all a rough estimate of the actual amount of each spice, salt and pepper, that I put into the pot. So this is onion powder. Then we have garlic powder. I'm going to do a little bit of thyme. And this one does not want to shake out well. There we go. Just a touch of thyme. Don't get too crazy with it. And then, of course, ground black pepper. A really nice amount of that in there. And you can always add more later once you give it a taste. And this is sea salt. Okay. I'm going to give that a nice little stir. And we will just let that cook. Okay, next thing that I'm gonna go ahead and do while we're waiting for our vegetables and our turkey to cook is I'm going to make the dumplings. I'm also gonna make some homemade coleslaw to go along with this, and I'll add my recipe for that in here as well. So here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with 2.5 cups of all-purpose einkorn. So this is actually a brand new bag of flour. I just opened it for this video, so I've got 1, 2, and then my measuring cup has a 1/2 cup mark on it. And this is not gotta be exact. This is just what I do. So that's about 2.5 right there. Okay, now I'm going to do baking powder. I'm gonna do just a heaping tablespoon of baking powder. That's plenty. Next, I'm going to crack just a little bit of sea salt in there. Not too crazy because I put quite a bit in the actual soup itself. And then I'm going to take a fork and just make sure that this is all mixed together really well. Just like that. Now I'm going to kind of make a well in the middle of this. like so. And then we're gonna add in some melted butter and some buttermilk. Okay, so I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter, and then I have my buttermilk, and I'm just going to add in my butter like so. And then when it comes to the buttermilk, I kind of just measure with my heart. You can mix with your hands or you can mix with a fork. I'm gonna mix it with a fork. You want this to be a nice sticky dough that we're gonna plop down into our soup. Okay, so I'm going to continue mixing until we have a nice sticky consistency. Alright, so we're getting there. In the recipe that I'm going to attach below, I'll probably give you a rough estimate of the amount of buttermilk, or you can use whole milk, that you should add in. But truthfully, like, the best thing that you can do, especially if you choose to use just a regular flour, is just eyeball it until you get a nice sticky consistency like we have going right here. Because I will tell y'all, if you're not gonna bake with einkorn flour, or you're not gonna make these dumplings with einkorn flour does absorb moisture differently than regular flour. What I typically do in all of my recipes is, if a recipe calls for flour, I pretty much add an extra half cup of einkorn for every cup of regular flour it calls for. So for example, if a recipe calls for 1 cup of flour, I'm going to put 1.5 cups of einkorn flour in it. And then of course, if it calls for baking soda or baking powder, I have to add a little bit more of that as well. Nice sticky consistency for our dumplings, and then we're going to set that aside. Okay, so just really quickly, I have half a head of cabbage. I'm going to chop it up, and I'm just going to make some slaw really quick to go with this. Growing up as a kid, my Nana always made chicken and dumplings, sliced up tomatoes, and we had slaw. And that was one of our meals that she made a lot for us as kids. So I'm going to do the same for Justin and I tonight. And with our wild turkey dumplings, I'm going to make a bowl of slaw to go with it. Okay, so I'm just going to chop up this head of cabbage here. Just finely. I'm making a mess, I do know that for sure. Okay. I'm going to just put this into this bowl. Just like that. Okay, now for our mayonnaise, I know y'all can't see this, but this is Primal Kitchen avocado oil mayonnaise. Y'all also find that we 100% completely avoid any type of seed oils when we're cooking. We use avocado oil, butter, olive oil. We'll use like some tallow. That is all the oils that we use to cook in our kitchen. We try to keep everything super clean. So anyway, jumping back to this, I'm going to put, and this is 100% by heart. I do not measure this at all. And I do not have a recipe for this. I can only tell y'all what I put in it, and y'all can watch me do it. This is the exact same way that my Nana makes slaw as well. She uses the exact same ingredients, and she measures with her heart. So I've got the mayo in there, and then I have apple cider vinegar. Just gonna give that a good shake. And I don't go too crazy with this. I give it a nice little splash. And I should have used a bigger bowl. I should have used a bigger bowl for the dumplings, and I should have used a bigger bowl for the slaw. But that's okay. And now, I may have to add more of that. We taste test this. And now I have our cane sugar. This is 100% cane sugar, organic, fair trade. And I'm just gonna measure that with my heart as well. I'm gonna grab a couple more spoons. Okay, so I grabbed a couple more spoons. I am just going to throw some sugar in this. Mix that up. Now I'm going to give it a little taste test and see if it needs anything else. I'm going to do a touch more sugar. That should do it. And it really just depends on what kind of flavor you want for your slaw. If you want it a little sweeter, or if you want it a little bit more like vinegary, acidic. It honestly is 100% up to you. And yes, I'm going to eat out of the same spoon. It is just Justin and I eating this, so I'm not worried about it. That's perfect. Okay, so our vegetables and our turkey has been cooking for a little bit now. It's came to a boil, and our turkey should be done. We are going to pull it out and we are going to shred it. Okay, so our turkey has fully cooked. I've checked it. I'm now going to shred it. If you want to shred it, you can. If you want to slice it, you can. Sometimes I find wild turkey doesn't want to shred super well. I'm going to slice this up, and then I'll take a couple forks and I'll just kind of tear it apart a little bit. And then we're going to throw it back in the pot. Okay, so now I'm just finishing off spooning in our dumplings here. And we want them floating on the top. That's what we're going for. Just kind of putting these last few in these empty holes. And you can kind of push them down in there a little bit if you need to. You want them totally submerged. Okay, and there we have it. Now I'm gonna put the lid on the pot and we are gonna let that simmer the way it is right now. I have my stove on very low. We're gonna let it simmer for about 15 minutes and then they'll be ready. And one other thing that I forgot to add, I know we put some butter in the dumplings, but I just am gonna add in a little bit of butter because who doesn't love buttery turkey dumplings? And that's just gonna melt down in there. Okay, now we're gonna cover and simmer for 15 minutes. Okay, it has been 15 minutes and these look absolutely incredible.
Caution anybody, you ever come try anything here, you better blow on it for a while, because chances are it's liable to dang singe your tongue. Yep, or I'll just singe myself. That's good.
Thanks for watching. We hope that y'all enjoyed this video and we hope y'all give this recipe a try. I'm gonna go sit down with Justin and we're gonna enjoy dinner. Make sure to comment below if you do give it a try and you like it.